Hey again, everyone, and welcome to today's Heart to Home devotional. And as always, it is a blessing to share this time with you. Um, as I was praying about what the Lord would have me focus on for this Devo, out of my quiet time, the Lord put a certain section of Scripture on my mind. And then the Wednesday before recording day, Pastor Danny brought the same general Scripture section up in his teaching. So 31,000 verses in the Bible, and the Lord puts the same scriptures on the mind of more than one person in the same week. And I actually like when that happens because, as Paul pointed out, we're all part of one body with different giftings, and it allows us to see different focus that different people have out of the same scripture. And it's iron sharpening iron. And I hope it's an encouragement to everyone listening to this Devo to let your unique gifts be used by the Lord. So in Hebrews 11, the author is speaking about examples of God's people that exercise faith in the past. So let's read Hebrews 11:13. It says, "These all died in faith." Now, these is speaking of those past saints. They all died in faith, or they were dominated by faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. So in today's more sensational culture, we have been conditioned to think that great faith is of the miraculous or headline grabbing type. And as I was reading through Hebrews 11, this time it struck me how almost ordinary their actions were. And don't take that in the wrong sense. Their actions were considered extraordinary by God. As Pastor Gary says, they were common people with uncommon faith. But let's look at what a few of them were commended for. Abel offered a better sacrifice. Enoch was taken because he was commended as one who pleased God. Noah built an ark because he believed the warning. Abraham moved to another land. Abraham also reasoned that God could raise the dead. Isaac blessed his sons in regard to the future. Jacob also blessed Joseph's sons. Joseph left forward-looking instructions for his bones to be buried in the promised land. Moses' parents hid him, and Moses chose to be mistreated alongside his own people. And those things aren't actually like calling down fire or making a blind man to see or a deaf man to hear or silencing a storm immediately. What they were was people making life decisions that are informed by belief that God exists, that believe that He is who He said He is, and that had an unshakable belief that His promises were true. They were people that had a willingness, driven by faith in God, to follow where God led. So these men and women did not receive all the promises God gave them before they passed on, but they saw their fulfillment afar off, and they were persuaded by them. Then, and this is what we must do with things that we're persuaded of, they embraced those promises. And think of a long-missed loved one that you embrace with the most intimate embrace when you see them. In this case here that we're talking about, it's promises that we embrace. And a promise is made special by the one who makes it. And if God is making the promise, it's the most powerful, eternally fulfilling nature of hope than anything we have experienced here. And the promises of God are meant to go from your head to your heart and be embraced. And this is what moves us, moves our direction of life. And I was thinking about the wise men and the shepherds when they saw the star. The star was a promise. And think of the wonderment that this would have caused with the anticipation of promise fulfilled. They saw it from afar off, and they followed with eager anticipation. So I pray that the Lord would help you to see the future fulfillment of His promises with your eyes of faith, and that you would embrace them deeply. God bless you guys, and we'll see you the next time.